Hello, welcome to Spy Money. I'm going to show you a new indicator that I have. It's the Spy Money Zones indicator. And what it does is it looks in the past at your support and resistance and draws zones based on that. So it's actually pretty neat. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the chart and show it to you. And someone had asked me to show it on NQ. I showed a video using ES. This one is showing on NQ. And what I do is I have the zones indicator turned on to where it is showing on the 5-minute time frame, but we can put the chart on whatever time frame we want. Now you can choose to have the zones based on your time frame that you're doing, and it will zone out all your levels based on that time frame. I'm a scalper, and I like to look at the 5-minute. The 5-minute will generally allow me to have a much bigger target than if I use the zones based off of the indicator. So if we go back and look, you'll see that as soon as it breaks through a zone, the zone stops, and then when it makes a new zone, then it will create a new one. So as this went up, it started breaking through these zones, and then it stops it until it finds another zone. Now you can adjust your candles however far back you want to go. I have mine adjusted on 5 bars back. You can set them ever how you want to set them. It's up to the user. I think that as a scalper, I like to look 5 bars back because if once this comes down to touch and we come up, I want it to be drawing the zone. For instance, this one here. This zone populated, once we hit this area, it went by this one here, and then as soon as we got to 5 bars, this zone appears. That way, when it pops back up, you'll know that that is in the zone that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple things on this. And I don't show the settings inside the public, but in the course, I go over all the settings in detail and show you how to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of the 5-minute time frame. And this shows the zones based off from the time frame that we're using. And you can use it on ticks or range or volumetric, the minutes, whatever you want to use it on, you can. It doesn't make any difference. So once you figure out how you want to trade, you just look back on it. Now, if you wanted, you could set this on, say, a lot of people trade a 4-hour zone. So if I put this on a 4-hour, and then I have to go in and add more days because on a 4-hour, you're going to need more. And let's see here. Let's change this to a minute, and let's do a 5-minute. And then we'll do 180 days. The reason I went to a 5-minute because we're going on a 4-hour chart. So we're going to need to see the 4 hours. And right now it's calculating because it's got to go back 180 days. You probably don't have to go back that far, but I just wanted to be able to show the different zones that would be here. So now we have the zones appeared. And we're looking at a 5-minute time frame on the chart, but we're looking at our 4-hour zones. So on the 4-hour zone, if we put this on 4-hour, we would see that this would be a zone for that area. And we come over, so we're looking at this one. So more than likely, this is the area we're coming down to, which is 377.50 to 320.50. So 320 to 377. So there's roughly 50 points right here just in that zone. So right now our support, we have a support right here, but not based on the 4-hour chart. So more than likely, we're probably going to sell off all the way down to here. So when this come down, it retests back up, come up, no retest of that. So this is just staying in here and coming out. We may go ahead and come back up, but eventually we're probably going to come down to this area based on the 4-hour time zone, or the 4-hour chart rather. So let's go ahead and go into show you like say a 60-minute. So if we do the 60-minute, that's showing this a 1-hour chart. So this one is looking probably for here. Now if we go to, you could do like a 15-minute chart if you wanted. So if you do a 15-minute chart, that will create more zones that you know that you're going to go to. So if you're a scalper, to go to a 4-hour chart is going to be, rather difficult. If we go to a 1-day chart, I'll change that and it'll show the daily. Now this one did not show. There we go. So this is where we are. So remember, we're on a 5-minute chart. If we go to, say, a 60-minute chart and look at it, these are going to be the daily zones that we're looking at. So let me go back in and make sure it didn't change. Yes, that's a 1-day chart. So based on the daily, those are the zones that it would be. So if we look back, this is like May 12th, 17th, 20th. So there's a lot of days in here, and this is the 1-hour chart. So again, this is looking like it's probably going to come down and retest here before we possibly might keep on going up. But I'd say it's probably going to keep on coming down. So your charting can really depend or be set ever how you want to do it. I'll show you how it looks on a weekly. So if we go to a weekly, so there's our weekly zones. And let's see if it has down at the bottom, it might have, we'd have to go back further than the 180 days, but it'll take a long time to calculate that, so I'm not going to do it. But you can put it on weekly, monthly, any way you want it. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my favorite, and that is the 5-minute. Now when I do the 5-minute, it's going to show a lot of them, but we're on the 1-hour chart. So, you wouldn't trade a 1-hour chart with 5-minute zones. You'd want to go back usually about 4 times what you're doing. But even if you put it on a 5-minute chart, you can see where we are. So this created zones as it pulled back up. So we have all of these zones up here, but we have all of these supports right here. So looking at a 5-minute with a 5-minute chart is kind of difficult. If we go to like a 1-minute chart, we can see that we're in the support right here, and it keeps trying to pop up here. These zones will not tell you if it's going to be short or long. It just tells you if it's like when we broke this zone, that told us we were coming to here. And then when we broke through that, then we come down, we retested, we popped up, but see, we come down to this zone here, and now we broke through, and now we're into this zone. So right now we have a lot of zones down through here that we could go to. This right here is a lot of chop that we had today. As far as from like 1 o'clock on, there was a lot of chop, and it created a lot more zones there. If you're going to trade the 1 minute and you see this right here, you may want to go ahead and create a higher time frame zone. So if we went over and if I added, say, 30-minute zones, there we go. So 30-minute is showing this big zone here and the little ones right here. So these are based on the 30 minutes today. You can do the 15-minute. That's a pretty good one. But again, it all goes to depend on how you want to trade. You can put this on a tick chart if you want, say a 144 tick. I trade a 144 often. Oh, we didn't go back far enough. If I change the data series back, it may be too much to do. There it is. It did it pretty quick. So it's already showing those 5-minute zones down here because it was within those 10 days. You can do a range chart, like this is the 40 range. And again, we got to change our data series, go back more days, and then it will pop in and show the zones. So our next zone down is right here. More than likely, we're going to hit this area, which is 594, 593.50. More than likely, we're going to come down and touch that. Now, one thing I want to show you is, well, before I do that, let me do this. So, I'm going to change that to the, we're on a 1 minute chart. So I'm going to change this back to a 5. Let me go to a 1. So we'll put that on a 5. Let me go back further on the days. You have to go back, in order to find your zones, you have to go back far enough to see them. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one here. Some things it'll do. So let's just say that you don't want the zone, you just want to see an actual line going across. So it'll show the height of them. So this is the top of the wick. And if you want to have it based on the close of the candle, then you can do that. And this is based on the close. You can also change it to the average, which is between the high and the bottom. It'll be in the middle. So you can put it wherever you want. I personally like to use the wick, and it shows the from the close to the top of your wick, and that's what I like. This is, I want to see an area of where it may be, because a lot of times I will trade right to the bottom. Like if I'm going long, say I'm going long off of this, then I might trade to the bottom of this zone and not up to the next one. Where if I have the line, it's going to put it right here at the top, and I may miss the exit on it. So what I like to do is I like to trade the actual zone. So right there, if you had got in right in here, and you can see the accumulation when it broke out over the accumulation, or better yet, when it breaks out over top of your zone, and if you traded it right to the top, it's a $550 trade. That's based on a 1 minute chart. And if you could put this on, say, a 40 range, so if you went by 40 range, you're seeing this, it comes down, we're in that, you bounce down in it, maybe you go ahead and put a buy order here with a exit right here. And if you did that, come right out of this zone, then you're at 720 to the top. Now we never hit that, but here's the thing. You can always put it below where this is. This is where your support is, or your resistance is. So where your resistance is and your supply area, you always want to be below it, because a lot of times it won't actually go up in it. It'll just get real close. It'll pull back. This more than likely will go ahead and push right up in it. A lot of times it will go right up to the top of this, but it'll usually stay about midways is about where it'll be. So you can do a lot of things with the indicator. There's more settings in there. One thing you can do is have, when you break through a zone, it'll give you an alert, audible alert, so you know. It'll also give you an alert if a new zone pops up. So if you want to hear that, you can turn those on. But once you purchase or lease the indicator, you're going to be able to have a tutorial on how to set this up, what things do, the different settings and so forth, and to help you. It's really pretty self-explanatory. Once you open it up, you'll understand it really easy. It's not hard. Once you play around with it, get it set up the way you want, then you can come back in and like down here's a template. You can put save, and then you can save it as default, and that way it's always in that area for you. But if you have any questions or anything, let me know. This does work on any time frame. I've got like ES there. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me do it this way. So we come up here and we can do ES here. This will show ES. I've got a lot of data pulled up on that. That's the ES. Of course, you wouldn't be trading a 40 range with that. If I put it on a 1 minute, it shows you all the zones and so forth. You can use this on anything that you want. There's RTY. It's low volume tonight. Come back over here during the day. You'll see that. Different areas. And you can YM. It works good with that. So it's showing all the zones that you would have had on that. That one was not a zone. That was one I mainly drew in. It was my zone that I drew for my support, and if you saw it, you would see that I was spot on. And let's see here, CL, I don't know if that's an updated one or not. Yeah, it's updated. So it lets you know with CL. Anything that has a chart up here, it will show. MNQ, it'll show that. Shows all the stuff there. So it doesn't matter what instrument that you're going to use. It will show the zones based on previous bars. It's all price action zones. It's not a like our Ranger indicator. It is based off of your open range breakout. This one is not. This one is actually zones based off of candlestick that you have. So wicks, bodies, and so forth. This is what it's all based on. So it is 100% price action. 100%. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Put this back over on NQ. That's what we're on. And it actually does very well. It's on every chart that I trade. I use this, angular, and balance. And there's videos that talk about those. I'm not going to go into all that. Too long of a video. But the balance does real well. It shows the levels. And also the angular will show entries that you need to be in. If you use the angular with the balance and the zones, it's pretty hard not to make money. But I'm sure some people won't. Not everybody makes money trading, so I'm not going to say that you're going to get rich doing this, because that would be untruthful, and I'm not going to say it. But the zones give you an idea of where you're going. Like right here, we start building up, and then pow, and look right there. It did actually go right back. It pulled back, shot right back up in there. So we did get what we were looking for here. And right there we are. And on the ES, look, it did the same thing. A lot of chop down in here. This was accumulation, and then it finally pushed up. So if you would have been in this one, let's say you got off of the bottom right here. Yeah, if you got off the bottom right there, and there's $500 trade. And this one more than likely pushed right up inside of here, more than likely. And as far as how to communicate with me, if you have questions or so forth, I'm going to show you how you can do that. If you go into SpyMoneyLLC.com, there's a contact here. Click on that. And right here's where you put your first, last name, email, phone number, and the message you have. Submit that. I'll get that. I am the one that answers everything, and be more than happy to help you out. The angular indicator, you can see a video here on how that works. As far as the products go, let's see here. Purchase. There we go. Most popular. If we go down, NinjaTrader indicators, we're just redone our website, so some things, there it is. There's the Spy Money zones. We just redid the website, so we're still working on a few things that were not quite right, but if you read the titles, you'll find it. You click on that, and there's where you purchase it. You click on add to cart, and then purchase it. As soon as you do, it will open up in your account. You just click on login right here. You get logged in, and it will show up in your account. Yeah, you click on the indicators, and all your information there's your download and everything. So as soon as you do it, buy this, then it will immediately give you access to the indicator. There's no waiting. You will need to send a machine ID to me. There's instructions on how you need to do that. It's a special way. And then you can let me know how everything will, if you have any questions or anything like that, and let me know what I can do to help you. Again, SPY Money Zones indicator. Y'all have a good night.